let your hair get in the way. Can't be defined.
Hi guys.
I'm Cheyenne.
I'm Ia.
Welcome to another episode of the Grow and Glow podcast. This week we are giving advice?
Kind of. We're gonna be reading Reddit stories and kind of explaining how we would respond based on like where we are in our healing journeys.
And what you should do. Because we're healing, not healed. But yeah. Let's start. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, this first one is, am I the asshole for saying I don't like my friend's boyfriend, which caused him to lose a job opportunity?
Oh, wow.
So, I'm going to switch the names in this.
Okay.
But it says, I, 27, have a friend, Nyla, who has a boyfriend, Jake. Jake is a complete jerk. He's one of those people who makes below the belt jokes and then calls you sensitive if you don't find it funny. In the 18 months I have known him, he has called Nyla fat, average, boring to her face too many times to count. He has called many of our mutual friends rude and demeaning things and has purposefully antagonized me on many occasions. We all put up with him because if we don't, we'd never see Nyla, but he really is the butt of every joke and a walking cliche. My roommate Henry recently had a job come up in his company that Nyla asked him to interview Jake for. Not losing my train of thought. Henry is part of our wider friendship group. His friend is dating one of the girls in our group, and he has met Jake, but not really spent much time with him, so thought he was an alright guy. I decided to keep out of it because I know Jake has been unemployed for a while, and it has really affected Nyla. However, when Henry mentioned he was going to do that interview at our apartment, he could see I was uncomfortable. I didn't mention anywhere near the extent of Jake's behavior, just that he'd made a couple of demeaning remarks to / about me, and I wasn't overly keen on being around when he was. I told Henry not to do anything about this and that he should hire the best person for the job. Henry went through with the interview, but he made Jake do a lot of prep work and a presentation to other employees and then made the interview extremely long for no reason. Then at the end, he said he wasn't going to hire him. Jake got mad at Nyla over it, and she got mad at me, saying I shouldn't have said anything about Jake, knowing how great the job would be. The heck? and how it is to get jobs in the field. On top of that, I should have been sensitive to his unemployment and that I'm ignorant to how difficult the job market is.
What?
She's now not speaking to me, and our friends are divided. To think I shouldn't have said anything because Jake really needs to work and ultimately would have been helping Nyla. One friend thinks it's fair that I expressed not wanting Jake in my home and that I owed it to Henry to tell him because Jake is an HR problem waiting to happen. On the one hand, yes, his off-the-clock behavior shouldn't cost Jake a job, but on the other hand, why should I have to cover up for the way Jake is? If honesty makes him look bad, then maybe that's his problem. Then again, I guess it was some pretty petty antics that had real-life consequences, so maybe I shouldn't have said anything. I'm not sure whether I should apologize.
No. Personally, I don't think you should apologize. You did nothing wrong. That's like someone calling and being like, hey, so-and-so put you down as a reference. How do you feel about them?
Mm-hmm.
How are they as a person? You gave a reference, and it was not good.
And then she also told Henry that, hey, but even though, regardless of my beef with him, you still need to hire the best person for the job.
Exactly.
It's not like she was like, oh, like, don't hire him.
Yeah.
Like, she literally was like, no, like, this is what I feel about him, but this has nothing to do with me. Like, you hire who you think is best. So, for Jake to get mad, and then for Nyla to get mad at... This is coming from someone who has not liked friends' boyfriends in the past. So, I'm not going to feel sorry for not liking someone. How are you going to get mad at me for having feelings about not liking someone? But at the end of the day, regardless of my feelings about you, I'm not going to let that get in the way of, like, your job.
Yeah,
like, I'm never going to, like, talk ill of you to, like, an employer or something unless you really did some fucked up shit where I'm like, no, you, like, don't hire them.
And, like, if you're upset because it painted you in a bad light, no, it painted you in your true colors.
Exactly.
Because like they said, you're an HR problem waiting to happen because you can only put up a facade for so long. So.
And I saw this TikTok where it's like if multiple people have a problem with your partner, it's the partner.
Yeah,
it's
like
not
it's
you.
not you.
Like
if your entire friend group hates this guy, then it's clearly not you. But
because some people gotta learn the hard way.
yeah, hopefully she gets over it and learns like, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
And then if she doesn't, then that's not your friend.
Yeah.
That period point blank. Because at the end of the day, your true friends just want what's best for you and want to see you happy, want to see you respected. Like the fact that this boyfriend has blatantly disrespected her friend.
Yeah. But also like, don't give up completely if like she's still with him and not talking to you because she could probably be brainwashed in love and don't even realize. But no.
I guess that's
should
kind of a
not
situation
apologize.
where you have to like listen to your gut.
Yeah,
gut
like
type
do what
thing,
your
like-
gut says, but don't apologize because you feel like that's what you have to do. You're not in the wrong. You just gave your honest opinion, and it is what it is. Like, there's nothing else you can do
Yeah,
about it.
like don't apologize for not like for having feelings. Like that's
Yeah.
bullshit.
And you said hire the best person for the job, so clearly he was not the best person.
But I can see like from her point of view how it looked like the other guy was like making it even more difficult for him to get the job.
Yeah, but
But that has nothing to do with
exactly.
her.
But
Like,
how does that? She can't control what he
yeah,
does.
exactly.
Because even if she said nothing but good things about him, there's no guarantee he would have got the job anyway. So.
But I have noticed that tends to be a pattern in the work world. Like when an employer hears like at least one bad thing about someone, they make shit like 10 times harder for them.
Yeah, but
it has nothing to do with her. Like she ain't do nothing.
No, don't apologize.
No.
Moral of the story.
You're not the asshole.
At all.
And yeah.
All right. Mine is. Oh no, where'd it go? All right. Mine is. My best friend is sexting a guy I had a thing with. How do I forgive her? Damn. So there was this guy I liked, and he liked me too, or so he said. And we had a thing going on. Not a relationship, but came with some of the perks. Turns out he'd been telling my best friend that he liked her too, and that he liked her more. And apparently he liked her. She liked him back. So they've been flirting and sexting and stuff, and kept it a secret from me. My best friend was aware of everything that was going on between me and the guy, and at times I felt like he was lying at me, but every time I confronted him, he denied everything, of course. My best friend said she didn't want to hurt my feelings by telling me, and also that she was confused and wasn't sure if it was serious, and that she was trying to get him to be honest with me, and she thought me and him could actually work out. She had been shipping us all the time when I would talk about him with her, and had been doing stuff behind my back. She came clean about it recently, but it took her months. I have always been clear about the fact that I'd rather be hurt than lied to, because that's always worse. I value our friendship, and while I had never fully trusted the guy, I placed all my trust in her, and now she's regretful and apologizing, but I don't know what to do.
I don't know if it's because I'm just not in a good mood lately, but fuck that bitch.
No, fuck her.
Like, normally, not that like if I was in a better mood, I'd be, oh no, it's okay. But I'm just really just like, girl, no, like drop her.
Yeah, like I get being like, oh, that's my best friend, but she's your best friend and she betrayed your trust. Like
and lied about it to your face. It's one thing for a guy. Like, I honestly not. I hate to say this, but it's kind of expected for guys to lie. Like if a guy lies to me, it's like okay, whatever.
But
move on to the next. But if one of your best friends lies to you, like especially about a guy that she knew you had a thing with,
yeah, I don't know. I just no.
That's just. Like, I really wish one of my girlfriends was over here going behind my back messing around with a guy I had a crush on, or that he and I had a thing with.
I think that's really
and to lie to me about it. Like, it's one thing if you were honest with me about it, yes, I'd be mad, but like, hey, at least you had the guts to tell me to my face.
Not even that. It's one thing where it's like, oh, that's your friend's ex. Like, oh, I just so happen to like him. But he was essentially cheating on her with her best friend.
Wait, were they together?
Yeah, she said they were they were having a thing. But like, I don't know. I still feel like if you guys are like committed to having like a little sneaky link situationship, and then you go do the same thing with my best friend, like you're breaking what we agreed on to go to my best friend.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I feel like I still wouldn't like fuck with you either way. But if you were to come up to me, hey, this was been going on, and be like, okay, girl, bye. But
Yeah.
I guess thanks for telling me. Now I see who you are. I see what your true colors are.
Yeah.
But for you to be sneaking, no, I don't. Oh my god,
It's just the fact that
flashbacks.
it's the fact that she like was telling her, gushing to her best friend about
Oh
this
my
guy.
god, you guys are so cute together.
And her best friend, but like, imagine replaying that in your head, like your best friend being like, "Oh my god, you guys are cute, so cute together. I like see this going all the way," while she's sending him nudes. Like, I'm sorry, but like the Montgomery brawl, I'm getting a folding chair and hitting you on top of the head because what? Like, no, I'm sorry.
Absolutely,
No.
absolutely,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not.
Also, I feel like the way to be best friends and for it to work out is to never have the same taste in guys because you'll never have that problem. I hope. You'll
But
never
I
have
don't
that
know. I mean,
problem.
there's been some of my friends, like I have some of my friends, and I feel like, oh yeah, he's cute, but like we've never like, I don't know.
But at the end of the day, who you guys see yourself marrying and being attracted to are completely different.
Oh yeah, no one
For everybody. Like, if you're not attracted to the same people in that sense, you can avoid the problem a little more.
That's true.
But like, I mean, you don't have to. It's just like a nice little observation.
It's a plus, like,
yeah, it's
yeah.
a plus. But like, you know, don't ever talk to her again because I would never trust anything she says ever.
Ever.
Like, ever. But yeah, do what you want, I guess. Be who you are.
All I'm gonna say is you're better than me because
A lot better. I don't know.
but that would be my friend. I would tell her about herself, real bad,
Yeah.
real bad.
That's when you hurt her feelings.
Like-
Go for the jugular.
Because one thing about my mouth is vicious
Like,
when I'm upset, and I'm at that. I used to feel bad about it. Now I'm just like, no, I don't care.
oh, I love the fact that I have a slick mouth. My
Like, I don't
mom
care.
always hated it. My family.
Like, You thought it was cute and funny to just behind my back. All right.
That's crazy. She really, yeah, don't. That's not your best friend.
At all.
That's your op. Sorry, she don't like you for real, for real. She never did. That's wild. Next story before we start getting triggered.
I'm already triggered. I've been triggered all day.
I don't. I've never had that situation, so
I have it like in middle school, so I don't count it.
yeah, no.
That's stupid.
I don't think it's ever happened to me.
And yeah, it was dummy.
But also because if I said you were my best friend, I know you're my best friend. If you say I'm your best friend, you could be lying and I could not like you. So I feel like I kept my friend circle small, even though I was in a lot of friend circles.
That makes sense.
So I just avoid those problems like that. That's a way to do it. But fuck her. If she is on fire outside your door, don't even pee on her. Like, kind of fuck her. Next story.
Am I the asshole for not allowing my stepson? What? Wait, 12 months?
A year?
I
Or
gu-
is he 12 months old?
That's what I'm trying to figure. I think, okay, am I the asshole for not allowing my stepson? I guess he's 1 year to live with us. I have 2 boys, 10 months and 5 months, and I'm getting married in the next few weeks to my boyfriend who has a 1-year-old son from a previous relationship. My future husband's son asked his dad if he could come live with us after we get married because he wants to experience a genuine family dynamic with parents and siblings, given that his biological parents never married anyone else. My husband is on board with this idea, believing it could contribute positively to the boy's personal growth. So, okay, I'll reread that paragraph. So my future husband's son asked his dad if he could come live with us after we get married because he wants to experience a genuine family dynamic with parents and siblings, given that his biological parents never married anyone else. My husband is on board with this idea, believing it could contribute positively to the boy's personal growth. I expressed to my husband that I have reservations about having him live with us based on observations during the weekends he spends at our place. Firstly, he appears to have a strained relationship with my younger son. He rarely includes him in activities unless I specifically prompt him to do so. When I ask him to assist a younger boy, such as accompanying him to the bathroom, he does so with the obvious reluctance. Secondly, he displays tongue twister. Secondly, he displays an excessive competitive streak towards my older son. He consistently aims to outperform him and then taunts him when he succeeds. I find this overly competitive atmosphere uncomfortable. I desire my children to grow up in a nurturing and supportive environment. The third and most significant concern is his academic and behavioral performance. My boyfriend has informed me that his son has been struggling academically and has faced minor behavioral challenges. I am concerned about his potential negative influence on my son, particularly my older son. Oh, excuse me. My husband dismisses these concerns as typical for his age, believing that with our guidance he can improve. I sought advice from my mother, but she disagrees with me, asserting that providing a united family environment could greatly benefit my stepson. Both of them label my reasons as unreasonable. Am I the asshole?
I don't know. I feel like kids in previous relationships, those are touchy subjects.
It's a touchy subject, and obviously Cheyenne and I are not mothers, let alone step parents. So
I'm not a mother, but I am that kid. Like, I have a stepdad and a biological dad.
yeah,
So, like, I don't know. Like, just because the 12-year-old isn't the way you want him to be, like,
yeah.
he's 12.
I think a child development degree talking here. Again, yes, one, he's 12, and two, you have to remember that every parent raises their children
Yeah.
differently, and you went into this relationship knowing that, okay, I'm gonna have a future with this person, and my partner has a kid, and I have kids, so we're literally gonna have to meet each other halfway when it comes to raising these kids together. So you have to understand, like, this kid is coming to this completely new
Yeah.
environment, not understand, like, yes, your two kids, they're used to the way you raised them.
Yeah.
He's not used to the way that you raised them. So of course, anything that he does is gonna be off-putting to you,
Yeah.
because his dad raised him.
But, like, I don't know. You can't. I don't know. I don't like situations like that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's very touchy.
No, it's very
subject.
touchy. I guess, like, for me, I just always look at kids, like, every kid is different.
Yeah.
And you can, like, trust me, I know how easy it is to be like, oh my god, this kid's so bratty, oh my
Yeah.
god, like, yada yada yada. But you have to understand, like, every household's different. So
Every household's different, one, and, like, the most important thing of this all is that's a 12-year-old little boy who's probably going through puberty, and that is why they're moody. Of course, one, they don't act like your 10 and 5-year-old because, like she said, that's a different parent, different household. But also, they're at 3 different
Literally.
developmental stages. Like, your 5-year-old might act more mature than the 12-year-old at times because the 5-year-old doesn't have raging hormones everywhere. So...
And literally the point, like, if you're gonna be having this united family front, is like, you're gonna have to all sit down and be like, okay, now that we're all under one roof, like, these are our expectations.
Yeah, like blending a family means blending
literally
parental styles, blending house rules, and, like, because there's even things that I'm pretty sure it happens at dad's house that doesn't happen at mom's house, and mom hates it. So, like, you can't get upset because, like, your husband or future husband, whatever he is to you, doesn't parent the way you want.
Shit, I mean, that's what I deal with every day. Been dealing with children. It's like, I'm, teaching them or, like, working with them in a certain way, and their parents may do the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And obviously that creates different behaviors from that child. But I can't get mad at the child because they're used to this with their parents at home, and they get to me, they're like, why are you doing this with me? I don't like this. Like,
and usually it's like who do you think you are?
Exactly.
You're not my mom. You're not my dad. So.
But then with time, you're like, okay, these are the expectations.
Yeah.
Like, this is what Ia expects from me, so I need to, like, abide to it.
Yeah, like, if you're an adult about it and you communicate to your future husband and to the 12-year-old because he's old enough to understand, and probably bring your 10-year-old into this conversation of saying, here's the house rules for everybody. Here's how we are going to address things for everybody. So it doesn't feel like you're just picking on this little kid because you're not his mom. The same standards you hold that little boy to, hold your children to. And then eventually he'll fall in line because that's just how things run at this house. But also your husband has to support you. So
I don't necessarily think, like, you're an asshole.
you're not an asshole. You're just addressing it wrong.
Yeah. Be more empathetic about the situation, because remember, this is a new situation for all of y'all.
Empathetic. Be more understanding of the fact that he's still a little kid. And
like, I understand to you, like, he's 12, like, he should know better, but he doesn't.
he's 12.
I'm 22, I don't know shit still. Like, come on now.
Yeah, just give it some time, breathe, and just sit down and talk about it. The talking's what helps all the time. So,
and do it in a way where you're not, like, undermining, like, your future husband's ability as a parent.
yes.
Because,
Or that little boy's mother.
yeah. Especially
Because
because those mama bear claws are...
sharp
Real sharp.
and vicious. So let's not open another can of worms. But I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Do we want to go super deep or do we want to just keep it nice and cute?
Up to you.
Let's see. Abusive ex needs to be banned from social media. Let's see what this one is. I have an ex that I was with for 2 years and I'm scared for my life.
That's a little deep.
Yeah, that's a bit much. Let's read though. He and I recently broke up, and because I realized he was emotionally and I can't talk.
English isn't our first language.
It's bad, bitch. Okay. He and I recently broke up because I realized he was emotionally and mentally abusive, in addition to being a narcissist, and I also found out he was cheating on me, like, basically the whole relationship. After we broke up, he broke into my apartment, took furniture that I paid for, along with other things, I guess to spite me or whatever. He posted me on a social media tea group and lied on my name to try to humiliate me. He keyed my car and threatened to share our sex tapes. He won't even give me our cat that I did everything for. He wouldn't even clean a letterbox, let alone go get him his shots. He left out tequila him and his friend drank the night before, and my kitty, which was 4 months old, spilled the bottle and drank the rest of it. I don't want to throw it to the police, as my parents don't know I've been going through this, and I'm sure they're going to find out. Basically, I'm trying to get his social media accounts mass reported.
Your feelings, let me just start off by saying your feelings are 100% valid.
Yes.
100%. But baby, I don't think you'll be able to get his social media accounts.
I think you just need to call the police.
Yeah, because
don't worry about your parents finding out. Because I know that age between like 18 and like 23, you're still like, oh, my parents can't find out, even though you're an adult. So, yeah, just call the police.
Call the police.
We're not laughing because it's a funny
No,
situation.
it's not a funny situation. Like it's just like, it's like, baby, like there's more important things to look at in this situation.
Like your life and your safety are at stake.
Versus like who gives a shit about what this man doing on social media? Like don't worry about any of that. Your safety comes first.
Your safety comes first.
Let him post his thirst traps. Let him do whatever he got to do on Facebook, Instagram, what have you.
Yeah, and you know, like, what's true and what's not true. So if he's posting some lies about you, you know, the lawyer and me, sue him. Mm-hmm. You can get, at least if you were with him for 2 years, you can get some of your money back. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So tell him, keep playing with me. File a protective order anyway. Don't tell him that's like an option that he doesn't get one. File it. Mm-hmm. You don't get to be near me anymore. Yeah. But file a protective order and then tell him, you post anything else mentioning my name, I will sue you for defamation. Mm-hmm. Because he is lying on your name. So, and that could ruin job opportunities, just anything in life. Your kids could see that, your future kids, obviously. But sue him if you keep doing it, and file the police report. If you were of age, because you can put your age in there, but if you were over 18, your parents aren't going to know about it anyway. Yeah. Like, the cops aren't going to call your parents. And if you just don't put their address or their name on anything, they're never going to know anyway. Yeah. Like, baby, social media is the last of your worries in this situation. Yes. Like, the last. Like, the absolute last. Like, you put your safety in check first. Yes. Like, all that other stuff, like Cheyenne said. Like, if he posts some shit that is illegal, any of that, like, just sue him. Just sue him. Also, if you put in a protective order or a protective, like, restraining order or whatever, you might be able to use that to get out of your lease and move to another place so he no longer knows where you live. Because I know it's usually a lot of money to, like, break your lease because you got to pay, like, 2 months rent or something. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The police report and the protective order might help with the, like, them not charging you because your safety is at risk. But I really hope, because that was a little while ago, I hope you're okay. I hope the situation is fizzled away and he's not being crazy stalked anymore. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what I would do with somebody. I don't know what I would do. No. I feel like it's so easy. I feel like sometimes I'm all talk. I'm like, oh, I would never let a man do this to me. But then I can't even imagine if it actually did. Like, yeah. I can't say never because the second you say never, it happened to you. But yeah, no, because even like the things that she like experienced, she can't really like. You would never assume somebody's gonna break into your apartment and steal your fucking furniture. Like out of everything, like you did it just to spite me. Like I'm pretty sure she didn't think he was that petty.
Yeah.
After the fact, maybe, but not during the relationship. Oh, you poor girl, though.
Baby.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Praying for you, and just know that there are plenty of fish in the sea.
Yes.
Am I the asshole for lying about my sister not being with me? I'm an 18-year-old male and was raised in a household that believed women were created to have children and to treat men like gods.
Next story. Wait, no, I want to hear this.
While men were out making money or being angry, I was forced into sports at a young age. While my sister, Mandy, 15-year-old female, was learning how to cook. They are also super homophobic and racist. If we ever went against our parents, we would get punished hard. As soon as I turned 18, I moved in a cheap apartment and went low contact for my sister's sake. Last week, Mandy called me crying, asking if she could sleep at mine for a while, which I told her she of course could. Mandy told me that our dad had found out she was lesbian, but also that she was dating a Mexican girl. Dad had gone absolutely insane, so Mandy ran to my place. After hearing what happened, there's absolutely no way I could send her back to live with our parents. Yesterday, my mother called me and asked if Mandy was with me or if I knew where she was. I said no and asked what happened. My mother said Mandy had gone to a friend last night and didn't return, which was a lie because Mandy had been with me for more than a week. I hung up and didn't think more of it until Dad sent a screenshot of Mandy's position in my apartment. They told me if I don't send her home, they would get me arrested for kidnapping, which I told him to go right ahead with, but I think it was a complete lie because the police have yet to show up at my doorstep. My mother says I'm horrible for keeping her away from her own baby girl, but I honestly don't care. Mandy is anything but safe with them. You're not the asshole at all. Absolutely not. You're protecting your sister from a homophobic, racist ass pair of parents.
Yeah, you're protecting her.
Like, you're not the asshole.
Like, the legal system, if they do take that route, it's not going to work in your favor, but I would advise doing everything you can,
especially with the part where they get punished hard for like disobeying the rules, and like, she's a minor, so that's a CPS call waiting to happen.
That just like makes my heart hurt. Like that poor girl can't even be comfortable in her own skin in her own house. It's 2023, y'all. Like, get over it. That's really funny. I was having a conversation with my parents about that. I was like, if you. It's like, you know, especially like people are, you know, as we're getting ready to like eventually have kids and stuff, I'm like, if you can't even like handle the fact that your child could possibly come out lesbian, gay, what have you, don't have kids. Yeah. Don't have kids. Like, I don't care if my child wants to identify as purple. Are you happy? Are you healthy? Do you have everything you want and need in life? If the answer is yes to all three of those questions, you can go be green today, he tomorrow, and she on Friday. I'ma still love you the same. It don't matter. So I feel like, for real, you really just can't, like, the thought of your child potentially being gay pisses you off. You don't deserve children.
You do not have any business being a parent.
Like, and if you have children, don't let your children hear that at all, because
like, you can have your views, like, that's fine, but at the end of the day, you decided to bring kids into this world.
Yeah, you don't impose
so you need to be okay with it.
Like, you can have your own views and be uncomfortable with something, but don't impose your negative views of life
onto a child.
Yeah, like, especially because they're gonna be in a world like we live. They're gonna be around people like that, a part of the LGBTQ plus community, and what the negative views you have, if they start believing that's factual, that's how hate crimes happen. Because these kids are raised with, if anybody's different than you, you don't like them. And, like, these people did nothing wrong but lay in the bed with the same gender. Or feel like, hey, my body looks one way, but my mind feels another way. Like, why does it matter to you? Are you laying in bed with them? Like, are you going to go lay down and watch them do what they do? Like, are you in the bed with them? Because if you feel like, most of the people who are homophobic are like that because they can't live in their true selves. 9 times out of 10, not all the time, I take that back. sometimes the people who are the most homophobic are the ones who are in the closet the deepest.
And they're just mad they can't express themselves.
They
and
can't,
People are
yeah.
expressing themselves.
They get upset and jealous that other people are able to freely express themselves and they
So
can't.
they're projecting.
Not saying that your parents are in the closet. I'm just saying that's the case sometimes.
And on top of that, their dad is racist.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Just keep her away from that toxicity.
Oh my god! I think the race thing pisses me off even more because especially when growing up hearing that it's just a preference.
Yeah,
type
no,
shit.
it's not a preference.
It's not a preference. You're racist because
I mean, okay.
No,
let's paraphrase that. It's okay to have preferences as long as it does not degrade or bring anybody else down in the process. Am I the asshole for calling my coworker a nosy bitch after she kept insisting to know how much money my husband makes?
Not the asshole. Immediately
No. But I want to hear this story. My husband and I have been together since college. Over the years, he's had quite the career trajectory. He is a private manager and makes 10 times what I make, and I make a good salary. As we've grown wealthier, I've noticed people have become nosier. Usually that's how it is. Mm-hmm. More money, more problems. Anybody, friends, acquaintances, relatives, you name it. In the beginning, I would entertain the nosy questions, but ever since I entered my 30s, I've adopted a take no shit attitude. That's the only way to live your life. Take nobody's shit and then go make some magic. That's it. When people ask me how much I make, or how much he makes, I no longer say anything. I've learned the hard way that giving the exact number could have bad consequences. I want to know what happened when you tell somebody, oh, he makes this amount of money. Mm-hmm. Like, what bad consequences could that have? Anyway. Let's see. My new coworker is 25, and she has gotten quite the reputation for being a chatty, catty, gossipy little, you get the gist. You could tell she craves wealth and status because she wears flashy designer things and is always asking which men in the office are single. Last Friday, our office hosted a happy hour, and she kept asking me about me and my husband's recent Europe vacation. I told her it went well and tried to go about it. Then she kept asking, well, what does your husband do? He works in finance. Oh, so he must make a ton. How does he make in a year? How much does he make in a year? She's like, yes, we're very lucky. He makes a big salary. Like, whatever, leave me alone. She said, okay, I won't tell anybody. How much does he make in a year? Millions? Now this girl seems pushy. Because what? I prefer not to say. Why? He doesn't allow you to give the exact number or something? No, I just prefer not to say. You think the stuck-up one would be the one with the money, not the one without. I told her, you should learn how to take no for an answer and when to quit being a nosy bitch. It's a very valuable lesson. Period. After that, I walked away. I had a few coworkers reach out to me to tell me she was crying, left early, and that I should apologize for calling her a rude name. But I refused. I told my mom, and she said I was too rude to her and that she's young and might not understand the salary talk. But I think she's old enough. My husband's on my side, but maybe I should fake apologize for office politics, which I kind of agree with, but am I the asshole? No. You told her exactly what needs to be told. Stop being a nosy bitch because it's a valuable lesson.
Especially when she was like, oh, you would think the person who has the money would be stuck up. Like, you're just being hella condescending at that point. You're asking for me to be a bitch towards you.
Like, for real, if I just told you I prefer not to say, why are you going to be like, oh, does your husband not allow you to? No, bitch, I don't want you to be nosy. Like,
also, I just feel like it's just common sense to not ask people how much money they make. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But also, like, I mean, I get it. Knowing the girl's reputation around the office of her being like, ooh, which men are single because I crave wealth, like giving like sugar baby gold digger vibes. Of course, I'm not going to tell you how much my husband makes.
Only apologize if you know it's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
And if you genuinely like feel sorry for hurting her feelings.
Yeah, like if you actually care.
Yeah.
And it's not just for like, oh, is the vibe going to be okay? It's office.
Yeah. Who cares?
You go there to get money. That's it.
Not make friends.
Just like your husband, go there and get the money y'all got to go on vacations to Europe. I mean, your husband on your side, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, guys, so we have to wrap up this conversation.
It was an actual fun one. I don't know. Those stories always get me because some of y'all I'm like, why do you deal with this? And
Mhm.
other people I'm just like, girl, you felt sorry for that. I would have done way worse. But yeah, we'll probably do these like once a month.
Yeah, these are fun.
Yeah, we'll incorporate some more fun ones in there.
Even though some of the stories aren't fun, it's just like interesting
Yeah.
to see how we respond to it. I feel like how we respond to it now is completely different from what like 18, 19-year-old us
Yeah,
would.
but it'll also
responded.
be very fun to watch this first version of this episode, and then like probably even 6 months from now, like our reactions or answers will be completely different. So it's a fun way to like just growth check real quick. But yeah, next week we are talking about insecurities because everyone has them, even me, believe it or not. But yeah, we'll tell you how we got there because trust me, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell either one of us shit for real, for real.
Like regardless of our insecurities, like we know we're them girls. We're that girl. Like
you just
like do I have my days where I'm like not feeling myself? Absolutely, but I still know deep down I'm just like, girl, you got it.
like Hannah Montana said, everybody has those days, but
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
But also everybody knows what I'm looking like, so when I have those days, that's when other people come in with the validation. But yeah, we're gonna tell you guys all about that. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.